This is in your business.
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 This is in your business with the UMSL Business Podcast.
My name is Makenzie Torres, and today I'll be your host. I'm a marketing MBA and certificate of digital and social media marketing student here at UMSL. Before we begin, I would like to let everyone know that this video recording of the podcast will be found on our UMSL Business YouTube channel if you're interested in watching the episode. Today I'm here joined with Dan Lauer, the founding executive director of UMSL Accelerator. He is also the founder and CEO of Lauer Toys and the creator of Waterbabies, which is the second best-selling doll per unit in the U.S., totaling 24 million units. It's a pretty impressive stat, if I do say so myself. We will be talking about UMSL Accelerator's new project, the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Accelerator. Today is launch day, Dan. How are you feeling so far?
Really excited. We're going to see if we can gather a bunch of folks who are underrepresented and could move much farther faster with the award and the process. So exciting day. Yeah.
So first, why don't you just give us a description of what an accelerator means to you and anything that UMSL is differentiating in by putting on it itself? So accelerator is an often overused, misunderstood word. In this case, it's a business development program that's really high touch. So it starts with a call to action. So we're saying, look, if you're an unrepresented founder, a veteran, an immigrant, LGBTQ person of color, and you've got a great business idea that you're close to revenue on, apply. So there'll be an application process. Hope we get a couple hundred applications. We'll do some due diligence, narrow it down, and then we'll do a Shark Tank. And we'll pick up to 8 founders who are going to get $50,000 in non-diluted awards, plus the right to enter into this very extensive, very exclusive 8-week cohort program. Awesome. So UMSL Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Accelerator, that's going to be open to the public or to students? It's to the public. Students can apply, but why UMSL? There's a lot of people in the world that do accelerators, Techstars and Y Combinators in the East and West Coast, but this is the first kind of for a university to do a diversity, equity accelerator. In addition to the $50,000 you get based on the sponsorship, we're going to engage students to be paid interns. During the 8-week process, we're going to engage alums to see about connecting. So if one of the companies has a need to find a customer, maybe an alum can matchmake them. We're going to have lead mentors to do accountability coaches. We're going to have faculty that take a look at the businesses, the winning business, and say, hey, can we maybe do another research grant, or is there lab work available? So the university is a great convener of these kinds of processes. Plus, then the corporate sponsors are also going to use their networks and say, well, how can we help? How can we pilot? How can we trial? So it really helps move these founders farther faster. Yeah. So my next question would just be, you're here at UMSL, obviously. This is your home base. But why do you think that St. Louis is going to be the next? Do you want this to be the next Silicon Valley? I think that we have a great Midwest lifestyle, kind of lead from the center. Silicon Valley and New York and Boston get a lot of credit, but we have, just like UMSL, our UMSL students are just as bright as WashU, just as bright as SLU. St. Louis has just as much diverse talent and energy as San Francisco or Boston, so why not? And so we have a great cost of living here. We've got a great community. And so amplifying these kind of accelerators draws attention to the region, and I say, why not? Of course, St. Louis. Plus, I'm a homer. Good. So obviously, the corporations that will be funding this project are here in St. Louis. Would you like to give them a shout out? And what does it mean to you to have them support you guys? Yeah. When you think about entrepreneurship, you first think, what problem are you trying to solve? And then how is your solution different? And does anyone care? And that's a big part of it. And so when I went to some sponsors, first of all, we have trust. We've done accelerators before, but big shout out to Ameren, to Edward Jones, to Express Scripts, also to some anonymous private donors who just want this to move forward. They recognize this need for racial equity around funding, and they've said yes to supporting this to kind of
demonstrate that by investing in diverse founders, it's actually a good investment. Will help with economic development, will help with wealth creation. So yeah, big shout out to them. We could not have done this without these big founders.
So this isn't your first program with UMSL Accelerator. You've done a few before. So what's your favorite experience that you've had with earlier programs, and what makes you excited for the future?
Yeah, we did an Ameren Accelerator. We've done a Student Accelerator. We've done an Immigrant Accelerator. For me, it comes back to being an advocate for students. I'm an UMSL grad. And when I was a student here, I worked 2 jobs, didn't join many clubs. My favorite experience is these pitch competitions, these demo days, watching you guys stand up and pitch your idea. After you've figured it out, after you've grown it, have you tested it, tell your story. It's amazing. And I also love just seeing students pursue their own destiny, their own dream. I don't think a lot of students think about working for a company for 40 years and getting a gold watch anymore. So being an entrepreneur is hard, but if you get it, there's a lot of freedom and benefit to it. And I'm an advocate of that.
That's great. So you mentioned earlier that obviously the potential winner of this accelerator is going to get quite a bit of funding. I just wanted to ask you, what is your favorite success story of an accelerator winner of the past that you've seen come through your program?
Yeah, our first student accelerator, it's called Entrepreneur Quest, and we do it across all university system. There's a gal, Tisha Wexton. She was in the arts and sciences, and she was born with no arms, and she's a graphic designer, and she had an app called Hire Me. And she wanted to disrupt how people think about disabled people because she thinks they work harder. She won $15,000. She built a team, and she went on to win an Arch grant, which is another $50,000. And this is all equity free. So because of that, now she's launching in the next month or 2. Well, that's really cool. And the other part of this, though, is my kind of non-success story is a lot of students come to this program and they actually decide not to pursue that. We do customer discovery, we do product market fit. College is the best time to tease out your idea and maybe learn it's not the right one. But after learning the process, you might get your second or third idea to hit. But failing fast, learning fast is okay too in college. So though Tisha is a good example of a winner, some examples of winning is to say, hey, let's stop and let's move on to something else.
It'd be a great experience. So you were talking earlier about how, this isn't just about the businesses. There's an internship program that goes with it as well. And how do you think the past interns have benefited from being involved with these startups?
Yeah. So Accelerate has a different model. We talk about educate, innovate, and collaborate. So the educate piece, we have a BSBA in entrepreneurship, which is the pedagogy is really kind of tomorrow's kind of pedagogy around lean canvas and fail fast and customer discovery. Most entrepreneurs don't even want to be in a classroom. So we do a lot of innovate stuff, which is peer learning clubs and clinics. But how we differentiate is this collaborative piece where we offer internships with startups. It's a differentiated approach. And what a student gets to do is get paid to learn, get paid to get out of the classroom. And some of our students have gone to the CES show, the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. They've gotten jobs with Ameren because of their collaboration. They've gotten jobs with the startups. Some of the startups have used their research and used their work. So it's getting out of the classroom and gaining real work experience that I think is critical to whether you start a business right out of college or not. Some of these skills you're going to learn are going to make you a better employee wherever you go.
And what do you see that's going to be the experience of having this internship, but now talking about the diversity, equity, and inclusion program, throwing something else into the mix, giving that representation that we struggle to have. What do you think that those interns are going to get out of this?
It's a unique opportunity because these founders are going to be grateful. They're gonna. This isn't an internship where you get coffee, or file something. You can write a paper. You can find a customer, and so we think so. In a few weeks, in a few months, we're going to hold a call to action for our UMSL students to say, hey, do you want an intern? You're going to get $3,000. You get to work 8 weeks with this best and brightest underrepresented founder next semester. We hope we get a lot of applications. and we're going to narrow it down. And then each student's going to have to do a Shark Tank to say, why should I work for this high profile, interesting company? And even that's a good experience. And then once we select the student winners to make sure it's a good fit, we're going to have a kind of a matchmaking night, hopefully together, if not virtual. But so the 8 winning companies are going to pitch what they do, and the 8 interns are going to pitch what they love and what they're good at. And then there's going to be some kind of socialness, and then the students will rank the companies they want to work for. The companies will rank the students that they want to have work for them, and we'll see where the good fit happens so that we really get students working for companies that they're interested in.
Yeah, that'll be exciting for the interns to get their own little spin on the action of getting to almost decide who they get to work for. That's fun.
Yeah.
So, we all know that, obviously 2020 hasn't been great for the in-person learning experience. But where do you see the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Accelerator program fitting into our new norm?
Yeah, and you guys know COVID just sucks. For students, I can imagine, because you're social and you want to. So we hope to be in person at some point. And there's magic around spontaneous collaboration, plussing things up. There's unintended benefits that occur that you just can't predict. And we'll do it as safely as possible. Maybe there's a big room where we can get a couple together. But we're also planning for virtual, we're planning for hybrid, and we're hoping for the best. But in any case, it's worth doing now. So if you're a junior or a senior, if you're a student, don't put it off. The timing is right regardless of COVID. We don't know how long it's going to last. So we'll do the best we can in our new norm.
Yeah. So you talked earlier about some newer departments in the UMSL business. So we know that marketing and the entrepreneurship department just recently merged. What are your expectations for the students that are taking on this new program? And what's it been like to work alongside Perry Drake and Michael Elliott?
Yeah. Well, Perry and Dean Elliott have been phenomenal. They're tremendous champions. And what students are going to find over time in the next few semesters and years is a great proliferation of courses. So we really want to bolster the BSBA to, maybe there'd be a tech emphasis or a social emphasis or certainly a marketing emphasis. So you'll see good courses being developed over time that will really help you start your business. But also again, most students don't start a business right out of college. What you're going to learn here in these courses is going to help you to get a job, how to pitch, how to put on a presentation, how to sell. We're selling now. And hard skills. So I think we're going to see a great future. It's a great time at UMSL, despite COVID, to be an entrepreneurial-minded student, whatever discipline there is. And I'm having a lot of fun with Perry and Michael.
That's great. So since you are a successful entrepreneur yourself, is the DEI Accelerator program something that you wish you would have been able to learn from when you first started your career?
95% of startups fail. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
70% of companies that go through accelerators succeed. That's an amazing difference when you think about it. So whether you're a corporate accelerator or a student accelerator or DEI accelerator, these high-touch programs move entrepreneurs farther faster. Now, in my day, we didn't have anything like that. Actually, when I started Waterbabies, we didn't even have internet. So that goes to, this is a great time to start a business. It's a great time to tease out a business. And of course, I would have preferred it. So the lesson is take advantage of it and apply and try.
Yeah. So if we're stuck in an elevator and you wanted to promote this new program, what would you tell someone to make sure that they go apply today?
Well, it's really about impact and traction. Move the needle. I'm not a big fan of it. I think I said earlier, the $500 business plan competition, I think that's beer money. To apply to this, you're going to reach your next milestone wherever you're at. If you're just teasing out an idea for a tech or app or solution, you'll just in going to the website and going through the application, it's going to ask you tough questions about your business. Great learnings. Even if you don't get chosen, it will help you for next year. So my pitch is, it's going to help create wealth for the region, economic development, employment, but also you said earlier, how can we demonstrate that this region is ripe for these types of things, that we're innovative thinkers and that we can bring more people here. But for DEI, for diversity, equity, and inclusion, how do we solve for racial inequities? And by demonstrating that they can produce an ROI, we actually can say, well, it's a smart choice it's a wise use of investment. And that's really important to me.
So you're almost done. You're almost out of the hot seat. But just to, we've got you here, so we might as well ask. What is the best advice you've ever received on your entrepreneurial journey?
You cannot do it yourself. Any entrepreneur that thinks they can do it, there's no overnight success. You have to build a team. You have to enroll others, because being an entrepreneur is not linear. There's no manual. If it was easier to do, more people would do it. So my advice is start today and have a bias towards action. Focus on your customer, really understand what their needs are, be fearless, learn fast. But really start today. And otherwise you'll be 50 years old, 60 years old, and be like, God, I wish I would have tried something. So that's my advice is give it a try. All
right. Well, that's all the questions that we had today. Thank you, Dan, for taking the time to talk about the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Accelerator here at UMSL. And remember, you can watch this program on YouTube with us on the UMSL Business YouTube channel. And remember that the program launched today, so make sure that you go and check it out and learn a little bit more. We had the URL scrolling down at the bottom.
Cool.
And I just want to remind everyone to follow us on all socials at UMSL Business, and stay safe, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.